Right, what's going on, guys? I'm coming back to you with another video, another stand-up one. I really enjoy doing these videos and I don't know, it's something I want to do more often, so with that being said, I'm doing them more often. Before we get started, I just want to quickly talk about the giveaway. The giveaway has ended now and I'm just about to reveal the winner. But I've got the winner here in my hand. Well, I've got my Mac in my hand and the winner is on the screen. Drum roll please. The winner of the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, winning some really cool little prizes such as a camera case, some t-shirts, some vouchers for various different shops and a load of other random stuff. The winner is Kyle Butler. So if you're watching this, Kyle, I should have sent you an email already and we'll get all this stuff sent out to you as soon as possible. Right, congratulations Kyle. Let's get on with the video and let's have some fun. So unfortunately I've left doing this video a little bit late today and I haven't really got any natural light to play with, so I've just got my normal light up there from my bedroom and also a light on the side, a ring light. So let's do this video, let's get it over and done with. Quick disclaimer, my friend Jack wanted to be in the video at some point, he wanted to be one of my vlogs or something, so for a millisecond, literally a millisecond, within this video I'm going to flash his face on the screen. If you can figure out where it is and screenshot it, post it on Twitter and I want to see how many of you guys actually managed to capture it in that second. So if you're watching, Jack, keep an eye out. So this video is going to be another 3 things video. I really enjoyed doing the last one. The last one was more of a rant than a positive video, so I'm going to try and make this something that's a little bit opposite to what I did last time. So here we go. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, here's 3 things that will hopefully help you be a better filmmaker. So coming in at number 1 is your passion. This is the main offender. Film is something that not a great deal of people do. And normally the people that do it have a genuine love or passion for it. Like me, I absolutely love making films, I absolutely love filming random things, even if it's just on my phone, something. I absolutely adore capturing something on film. There's something so satisfying about capturing something and being able to watch it back and it being there forever. And with that being said, you have to have a passion for something like this. Being a filmmaker is a passion. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's not something you should do for someone else. It's something you should do that's creative, that's benefiting you. That's what it should be. So number 1 would be passion. You have to have a passion for filmmaking in order for it to kind of take control of you. When you're filming, from what I've noticed over the last couple shoots, especially the wedding I've just done at the weekend, you really have to be at one with your camera and you really have to involve yourself in the moment in order to get the best shot. So this weekend, or the weekend just passed, I filmed a wedding with a good friend of mine, CJ, who runs Angel Coffee House. I'm sure a lot of you have figured that out in the past. But I was filming and I was absolutely dreading going at the weekend because I knew, well, I didn't know, but I thought that I would mess it up and make it look awful, and I thought I'd let CJ down. That's something I really didn't want to do. When I got there, I decided to try and just completely consume everything that was happening. So every different location I was at, I would let it overwhelm me and take control of me and let myself kind of go wherever I feel I needed to go. So I'd keep an eye on every single thing that was happening and go, that would look awesome as a shot. So you kind of have to view everything as a different shot, if that makes sense. Which leads me nicely on to number 2. Number 2 is kind of using your eyes to visualize every single shot that you're about to get. So when I'm filming, my eyes almost become the camera up until that point when I hit the record button. So when I'm going on a music video shoot, or when I'm, doing a bit of guerrilla filmmaking, which basically means you turn up to a shoot with no plan, you don't have any storyboard, you just have a basic idea in your head. When I turn up to a shoot like that, I will automatically have a bit of a scan around the room, and as I'm doing so, or around the location, whatever you want to say, and as I'm doing that, I will pick certain things and that kind of almost, I'd have to see it and go up close to it and pick the shot and see the shot through my eyes. But I can look at an object and go, that'd look good from that angle, or that'd look good from this angle, and I can see it and I can visualize it in my head. That is a key thing. That is a key point when you want to go and have a hopefully successful shoot. You want to turn to the location and talk confidently to everyone that's involved with the shoot. You want to be confident in yourself and know that you are going to get some cracking shots. And after you've done that, then you need to go and visualize every single thing that you want to get. And sometimes that has to be on the spot. Sometimes someone will be like, right, we need to do another shot now, let's move on. And as soon as you do that, you're back on it again. You've got the shot you wanted, move on. You need to go to the next thing and say, right, this thing here is going to look awesome if I zoom into it a little bit, crop to 35, and then get that nice focus pull, and then slowly move over to the left and focus on the thing behind. That was a complete made up thing I just came up with on the spot then, but that's what you have to do. You kind of have to become your camera, and you kind of have to visualize with your eyes what you're going to get. And doing that, you also have to know what you're capable of and what your camera is capable of and what lens you've got, and etc, etc. So if you see something with your eyes and you think that would be awesome if it was zoomed into 205mm, but you've only got a 35mm lens, that's not possible. So in order to get around that, you have to come up with something different. So it's all about using your eyes as a camera and sometimes making sacrifices. That's kind of what it's about. Which leads me on to number 3. I honestly can't remember who said this. Someone said it to Alex, I think. But they said, if you take somewhere between 18 to 35mm and a 50mm lens to a shoot, that's all you need. That's all you should need for a most basic shoot. Which is basically what I do. So I've got this 18 to 35mm lens and I've got a 50mm Canon lens. I take both of those to a shoot, and I've never ever had that problem in my life where I go, I need a zoom lens. I've never had that problem because, and here's why it's so interesting. You take these lenses almost basically to restrict yourself. So you can't just sit on the sideline and zoom all the way in and go, alright, that'll do. You can't do that with this kind of lens. 18mm is incredibly wide, 35mm is slightly more cropped in, and 50mm is just a little bit more cropped in than that. And having those lenses and having just that in order to, and having just those things to work with, forces you to get in the action and see everything that's going on from a closer perspective. So you can go in, you can get closer to the action, and you really feel it. When you get closer to the action, it automatically overwhelms you, and you almost become, as I've said before, at one with whatever's happening. So hold on. So a couple of weeks ago I filmed a choreographed dance routine, and it wasn't until I actually forced myself to be in with the dance group that I really got a feel for the movement and the kind of camera movement I'm gonna have to get, whether that was when they swayed to the side, I swayed to the side, or when they ran from one side, or when they ran from one side of the screen to the other, I panned left or right, and things like that. You really get a feel for what kind of movement is happening within your scene, and when you do that, then you can figure out the movement for your camera. So that basically wraps up number 3. That is the third and final tip that I'm going to give to you guys. So let's recap over all 3 things I've just said. Number 1, your passion. You have to have the passion for what you're doing. Just having that alone is sometimes enough to go, right, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to get it done, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And that also goes side by side with confidence. So you have to be confident in what you're doing. You have to know, and you have to tell yourself that you can do this. So I go to the shoot, I was nervous as on Friday daytime, I was so nervous. When it got to Saturday, I had the decision in the morning, that split-second decision. 8:30 in the morning, I got up and I either could have gone, I'm not very confident today, I'm actually terrified, what if I mess it up? Or I could have done what I did and said, right, you know what, today's going to be awesome, I'm going to get the best clips I've ever got, let's do this. And when I did that, believe it or not, I got the best clips probably I've ever shot in my life. I could not be more happy with this wedding video. I am so proud of myself for this video. And you know what? It's not big-headed and it's not bad to be proud of what you've done. It is very rare that you edit something together and you go, you know what, that is the best thing, that's awesome, I love that. Because you're editing it and you've seen it and you've worked on it and you know, and you can pick out all the flaws without even thinking, without even batting an eyelid. So don't be afraid to post something just because you don't like it, because 90% of the time you're not going to like the work you do and you're not going to be happy with it, and that's just something you've kind of got to deal with and kind of got to live with, and that's that. Sometimes you don't like what you do, sometimes you absolutely love it, sometimes you hate it, but you've got to have that confidence to push it out and send it to the world to really move yourself forward, because then you start getting creative criticism, then you start getting people saying you could have done this better, or this angle would have been better shot from that side, and things like that. And that's when you start to move forward, is when you start to get criticised and you start to get feedback for what you've done, because then you can learn from it and change in the future. Number two, being at one with your camera and being consumed within the scene. So when you're running around, running and gunning with your camera at a certain shoot, you really have to get within your scene and feel every single thing that's happening, whether that be sort of sad. If it's sort of sad and unhappy, you're going to want slow camera movements and something that's really going to push that emotion towards the audience. And when they're looking at it side by side with the music or the voiceover, you're going to really get that feeling of whatever the scene is portraying. So these are the things you've got to think of, and when you when you start to think about these, it's hard, but they kind of just come to you over time naturally. So now if I go to a shoot and I know in my head subconsciously that this scene is going to be sad, I know without even thinking to shoot in a specific way. And that just kind of comes over time. So don't worry about it, it'll come, don't worry. But like I said, involve yourself with the scene and completely let it overwhelm you and let the whole thing take you over. Just let it consume you and just go with it and flow with everything that's happening in that scene or in that day. Which leads on to number three. Number three, the third and final one, limiting yourself in terms of equipment. Sometimes limiting yourself is good. Sometimes limiting yourself can be a positive thing. A lot of the time it's not, but when you do limit yourself, say if you forget to bring your tripod or you forget to bring a certain lens, you've kind of got to deal with it and move on. Sometimes you just don't have time to run back and grab that lens. You can't do it all the time. So it's a great habit to get into, sometimes forcing yourself to take a limited amount of stuff, because then you figure out how to work with it. This whole weekend, the whole shoot at the wedding, all I used was my Canon 650D, my 18 to 35mm lens and my Steadicam, and that is it. No microphones, no tripods, no other lenses. That's it. An SD card, a lens, a camera and a Steadicam for the whole shoot. I was there from 9 in the morning until 10 at night, and throughout all those hours, that's all I used. So limiting yourself sometimes almost makes you and forces you to be within the scene and be at one with the scene and feel exactly what's happening, all the emotion, all the movement, everything that people are trying to get across within that scene becomes so clear when you almost limit yourself and force yourself to become closer to everything, physically and mentally. So that wraps up today's video. Those three things, hopefully, if you take them in and do them right, they should help you within your film career or whatever it may be. So you have to have passion, you have to be at one with your scene and your camera, and sometimes you have to limit yourself or at least practice with less equipment. Cool. So that's it for today, guys. That's the video done. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoy kind of almost teaching people and sort of putting forward my opinions on what I think is a good thing to practice or a good thing to do. Obviously, this is my opinion. This is what I've almost learned and taught myself over the last couple of years. So it might not work for you, but it's definitely worked for me. If you want to let me know in the comments what you think, or whether these sort of tips and tricks have helped you, let me know. I always read the comments and I will reply. Sometimes it does take me a couple of weeks, but I always reply to my comments. So with that being said, I'd like to end this video. I hope you guys managed to spot Jack within the video. If you did, like I said, tweet me and show me the screenshots. I want to see how many of you managed to capture it. And yeah, that's wrapped up today's video, guys. So the giveaway's done, the winner's announced. That is now over. But hopefully there should be some awesome new things coming in the future, and hopefully the near future. So let's build this channel together. Let's grow. Let's make it better. Let's produce some wicked content. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you in the next video. So don't forget to smash that sub button, smash that like button, and yeah, peace. Oh, my friend Sammy says hi, by the way.